everyone and welcome back to the channel. We're back with another match preview. Tomorrow we face Man City away, which could be our biggest defeat of the season, quite possibly. Obviously, Man City have lost their last game, 1-0 to Spurs, meaning they're going to be in the hunt for a win desperately as well. And obviously, what better time to play little old Norwich for them. But yeah, before we get into this video, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and also go follow my socials. The links to them will be down in the description. And yeah, we'll get into the preview. There's no new injury news. So yeah, obviously, I think there will be a few changes made from Liverpool. But in terms of injury news, there's none, which is fantastic, which is ideal. We don't want any injuries at all this season. We have a light enough squad as it is. Obviously, we were expecting a few more additions. Obviously, Brandon Williams is going to come in. I'll be making a video of that when he does get announced. And obviously, I think Farke has already said in his press conference today that we're still looking at a centre-half and a centre defensive midfield. Again, two positions that do need filling, and hopefully we can bring in the right players for that and look good for the rest of the season. But in terms of tomorrow, it's going to be a very, very difficult affair. I think the only thing that's kind of given me hope is that we've been able to beat Man City before, and they don't have an out-and-out striker. I mean, Liverpool didn't, but the attack that they have, you know, Salah, Mane and Jota was enough to break us down. With Man City, they don't really have that, you know, Aguero figure that they relied on goals for so much. Obviously, their midfield and front line in terms of wingers is absolutely monumental. Like, it's fantastic. You know, the likes of Sterling, Bernardo Silva, Grealish. You know, you've got De Bruyne, Gundogan. There's just so many attacking players that can do damage to Norwich tomorrow, and I can see it happening. It could be quite a thrashing. It really, really could. Man City obviously are an excellent team, but have lost their last three games. Three competitive games, all 1-0. So yeah, that's another thing that's given me a bit of hope. Maybe, you know, they're struggling to find that sort of vein of goals at the minute, and maybe Norwich can capitalise on it. And in terms of Norwich, obviously, I think there's impressive performances from certain individuals against Liverpool. You know, like the Josh Sargent when he was off the bench looked really good. Leeds Malou and Gilmour looked like a good midfield pair. I was impressed with Rashica and Giannoulis, especially, and I think we'll be looking at those players to perform again. And I think that the lineup definitely should change. I think there was a hole missing against Liverpool, which is that number 10 hole, or sort of that inverted winger hole where Buendia would usually fill. And obviously that was a big missing factor for me going forward against Liverpool. And hopefully we can fill that void in for Saturday, bring in maybe Dow or play higher up the pitch. To give us the best chance possible of beating Man City. I do think there's a mistake in Man City's defence. I don't think John Stones is the best centre-half in the world. I think there's a mistake in Ruben Dias. And obviously Mendy or Zinchenko down the left-hand side, on the left-back side for Man City. I think we can definitely expose that. I think if we play Rashica down that side, I think we'll be seeing Rashica put them on their arse again. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. Whether it happen or not is yet to see. I'll go for my predicted lineup now. Obviously, Tim Krul in goal, picks himself, made a good few saves on Saturday against Liverpool, and hopefully he can provide some match-winning saves tomorrow for us. The back four, same as the one against Liverpool, Giannoulis, who was obviously my man of the match against Liverpool. Ben Gibson, Grant Hanley. I don't think they had their worst games against Liverpool. I don't think they were too bad. I think Liverpool's class did show in the end. And Max Aaron's at right back. Obviously, he played very, very well against Liverpool as well. I was impressed with him. And then we'll go to the two midfielders. I'm going to play a 4-2-3-1. I'm going to play a number 10 in behind the striker, just so we've got someone who can feed through balls and actually, create a little bit on the attack. But I think the midfield pair has to be Billy Gilmour and Pierre Leeds Malou. I think they both look very, very good against Liverpool. I'm very impressed with Leeds Malou's range of passing, and Gilmour just, it was everywhere, just doing the simple things right. It wasn't noticed as much, but he was just doing the simple things right, which is what we need him to do. And the two wingers, I played Todd Cantwell and Milo Rashica. I don't think that changes. I think Cantwell didn't have as great a game against Liverpool, but I think he showed enough quality to why he will be our best player this season. He can create nothing. He can create something out of nothing. We saw that with that, that ball over the top to Pukki, created something instantly. We saw that when he had a shot, I think it was about 30 yards out, caught Alisson off his line, almost went in. And it's all about having that player that can create something out of nothing, and Todd Cantwell is that player for me. And yeah, he didn't have his greatest game, but we saw, even if he doesn't have a great game, he can create these little moments that could win you games. So we have to start Todd Cantwell in my eyes. And obviously on the other wing, Milo Rashica was really impressive with him. Just his pace, his ability to take on his man. Just need his delivery to be a bit better in the come the final ball. And then if he perfects that, he will be having a very, very good season with Norwich. It will look really, really impressive against Liverpool. So hopefully he has another really good game against Man City. And in that number 10 spot, I'm very torn about this, but for me, I'm going to go with Kieran Dow. I think Dow's just a bit more physical. We'll just, put Man City's defence a bit more on edge. Obviously, very, very good technically, not afraid to shoot from range. And I think that's a bit harsh on Lucas Rupp, because I think he actually had a decent game against Liverpool. And I find it unfair that there's fans saying that Rupp isn't Premier League quality. You have to remember that on that back end of the last Premier League season, everyone was awful. And not only that, Lucas Rupp was being played out of position most games. Lucas Rupp is an 8 or a 10. And when he did play in the Championship, he looked really good. So I think we need to give Rupp the benefit of the doubt. Obviously, I've just said I want Dow starting instead of him, but I think this game does scream out for a Kieran Dow over a Lucas Rupp. So yeah, I'll go with Kieran Dow. But I do think the Rupp slander I don't think it's called for. I don't think it's fair. I think you give it 10 games of the season. If Rupp isn't Premier League quality by then, he isn't Premier League quality. But I think there is definitely a player in there. But Kieran Dow starts for me. And up front, I'm going to go with Josh Sargent. I think Pukki I think he needs some just time as a sub, maybe just 2-3 games, kind of get himself back into fitness and back into shape. Because, after the first half, he just looked dead on his feet. And I think Josh Sargent, as soon as he came on, he just added that energy, that work rate, that power, that pace, the aggressiveness that was missing from Pukki in the first, the whole game for me, really. I think as soon as Sargent came on, we saw a completely different play. Obviously, Sargent was moved to the right. Eder was playing up top, but I think Sargent, obviously, we know he can play up top. That's where I want to see him start on Saturday. But in terms of my score prediction, my head is saying 4-0 Man City. My heart is saying 2-1 Norwich. You got to be confident. There's no point me travelling up there tomorrow and not having some little bit of hope, because what's the point of going? But yeah, like I say, I will be going tomorrow, so there will be a match day experience, and hopefully it's a bit better than the last one. Obviously, this match day experience should be great. It's an away day. Away day match day experiences always are great. So make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell on to this video and my channel, obviously. And also if you go follow my socials as well, links to them will be down in the description, and that way you won't miss out on the match day experience when it does come out tomorrow or Sunday morning. So yeah, definitely do that. But apart from that, guys, that is everything. I think I've covered everything in this preview. But like I say, obviously you haven't enjoyed this video, make sure you do all that stuff, like and subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, following my socials, and I shall see you guys for the match day experience tomorrow.